Frank Silvestro here, and today I want to talk about a topic with you called, very hot one, called building self-confidence and self-esteem through gradients. It's like, what is this all about? I mean, I see a lot of this going around, especially in the industry I'm working in online with online marketing and people about self-confidence and self-esteem and lacking thereof. I want to kind of just touch on the subject a bit and show you and tell you how you can improve your own self-confidence and self-esteem. First, let's get a definition of what these are. Self-confidence is your belief in your abilities about yourself on what you can do. Okay, that's what self-confidence is. Okay? Esteem is how you value yourself, what you think about yourself. Is it high? Is it low? I don't know, And the two don't necessarily go hand in hand. They don't necessarily go together. Like, by background, I'm a programmer, I'm an engineer. I've been it for a lot of years, probably 40 years. Okay? And I've met some unbelievably fantastic programmers that could really whip out anything in no period of time. They were very confident. They knew exactly what they could do. But beyond that, as far as what they think of themselves, oh my God, I would have a conversation, just a social conversation with them. Oh, wow, dude, you need to pick up your evaluation of yourself, because you're very valuable. But it wasn't there. It was very, very interesting. Now, this is about, and of course you get the flip side of that, which is people who think very highly of themselves and don't do anything. They just can't produce anything. Those are okay. That's whatever that is. All right. And the other thing is, what's a gradient? Actually, I'm gonna tell you a story. I have a fairly high self-esteem and confidence level. My friends are going, yeah, it's definitely true. I went for an interview one time in downtown Wall Street in New York years ago. And the guy who was interviewing me, we were in an interview, and I wasn't particularly knowledgeable in this particular technology. I knew some of it, but not all of it. But I had very, very high confidence and very high self-esteem in myself. And it was very funny. At one point in time, near the end of the interview, I said to the guy, the interviewer, I said, I'm pretty damn aggressive. And he looks at me and goes, and puts his hands on the table, goes, no shit. Meaning, no kidding. And he gave me the job. He gave me the job on my ability because I was that confident and that sure, and I had very, very high self-esteem about myself. Okay, beyond what many have. So that was a very funny story. I totally dug it. So now, how do you build up your self-esteem and particularly your self-confidence? Well, it's got to be done in gradients. And what's a gradient? A gradient is a gradual increase in something. Like, when you went to grammar school, you went to kindergarten and first grade and second grade and third grade. Like, you learned how to build blocks, and then you learned about words and how to spell. And then you learned about how to make sentences. And then you learn how to write paragraphs and maybe stories. And it's a gradient. It's one building on top of another. Okay. So, another story is, when I went into, I don't know what grade, I was in grammar school sometime, and I opened up my math book like in the first day, and I turned to the back of the math book and I looked at the math that was going on in the back of the math book. I almost died. I was like, I don't know, maybe it was algebra, trigonometry, who knows? I don't remember what it was. Anyway, I almost died. I looked, oh my God, I'm never going to be able to do that. That's just Greek. That's hieroglyphics. That's, I don't know, the alien something. And then what happened was, obviously throughout the whole year, you learn chapter by chapter and build gradient and gradient and gradient and gradient. So by the time I got to that point at the end of the book, near the end of the year, I was like, oh, this is no big deal. That was a piece of cake. And I knew exactly what I was doing. It was not a big deal. So that's the point of gradients. So I'm telling you this now because I myself, who have a high confidence level and a high self-esteem level, am running into in my business, because it's a fairly new business, a lot of stops and barriers because there's a lot of knowledge I don't have. So it can get to be overwhelming, because I want everything big right now, there's nothing wrong with that. But what happens is, if you look at the mountain and you just keep looking up at the mountain and just go, okay, this is the mountain, what am I supposed to do with the mountain? You'll never climb the mountain unless you take the first step. Then you take the first step and you look at the next step and you look at the next step. Obviously, you don't forget that the mountain is there and you are climbing a mountain. That's important because you have to know what your goal is and what you're doing. But you just look at your steps, and you have to give yourself a success each day. Like, give yourself, I call it a win, a success. I accomplished something. It can be a little bit. Writing an email that's going to go out to all your clients or your customers or whatever. It's a win, or someone responds back to you from your email you sent out from your clients or customers. It's a win. You did something successful along the line of achieving your goal. Right? This falls under what I call action plans, right? It's a plan of action you lay out every day. Okay, what am I going to do today? What am I going to get done today? Even if it's a small thing, just get it done. And what happens is it builds up and builds up and builds up, and in no time at all, you have the mountain or a good part of the mountain that you never thought you'd get done. So if you look at the whole mountain, like I said, you're going to get overwhelmed. Don't do that. Just gradient approach, little by little by little. Get this done, get that done. Have a strategic plan. Strategically, this is what I'm going to do, and map it all out. Okay? And then do that. And little by little, you'll get it done. And what that does, it builds self-confidence. Hey, I can do this. Yes, you can. Hello? You can definitely do this. And what happens at the same time when you get self-confidence? What do you build up? Your self-esteem. Hey, I can do this. I'm worth something. People think I'm worth something. When I do these videos, I don't know, it goes out to everybody. I don't know, people look at it, some people comment, but I've been getting phone calls. Wow, that really helped me, of the people who know me, that is. Wow, that really helped me out. Thanks, I really needed that. And also, if you can comment on this, on these videos, it will be very helpful for me because I know I'm giving you value. That's what it's important to me. I want to give you value. I run into things during my life and during my career, and I want to know I'm giving you the same value that I'm getting. So I'm hitting a wall, I'm getting through it, I'm telling you how I did it. All right? So this is important. So my purpose is to give you value and to make you succeed along with how I'm succeeding. I want to see everyone in my group and as well as in my friends succeed. That's why I'm doing all this. Okay? So like this, give me your comments. Let me know what's happening. Join my, group and whatever. You get the idea. Anyway, okay? So it's great seeing you, great talking to you. I hope this helps. Let me know. Okay? Talk to you soon.